Say hi, Joey Only.
Hey.
Say hi, Joey Only.
Hey, Joey Only.
I'm Frank Adult. You're listening to Comedeorology and Weather Report every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. And Joey Only's a nice guy. He's coming down to Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8, 2024 for a total solar eclipse with the moon crossing over the sun. And Joey Only will be getting a picture taken with me. Joey Only will be arriving from Sydney, Nova Scotia Friday, April 5th, 2024. Everyone, the whole entire world is coming to Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8, 2024 to see a total solar eclipse. And Joey Only used to work for Vancouver Giants Western Hockey League. And me and Joey Only are best friends as well. Joey Only used to work for Vancouver Giants Western Hockey League. I'm on his podcast called Caribou Weather to Comedian plus Meteorology every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. It's on CFUR 88.7 FM and CKUW 95.9 FM. CFUR 88.7 FM, pretty short, CKUW 95.9 FM and CFPX 92.5 FM. And K-Loops, it's on Shaw Spotlight TV and Shaw TV all across the southern Vancouver Island from Donkin to Victoria, British Columbia, in those areas. Joey Only's a really nice guy. I'm on his podcast every Thursday nights. And see you soon. Best of luck to you. I'm Frank Down. You're listening to Joey Only Show every Thursday nights on 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. Caribou Weather to Comedian plus Meteorology. Best of luck to you. I'm Frank Down.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we've got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather or not. There it is.
Good morning, Prince George. Good afternoon, Winnipeg. Hello, Kamloops. Hey, viewers on the Shaw cable, Shaw Spotlight. Yes, this is the Comedeorological Report, your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. Comedy plus meteorology equals Comedeorology. I am your host, Joey Only, up here in Wells, British Columbia. I am finally back after being gone, but then being back. But now I'm back again for it's a brand new season. We'll just call it that. Brand new season of the Comedeorological Report. Welcome everybody out there in Radio Land and TV Land. We got all the weather news to talk about. We got the man from Sydney, Nova Scotia right here, the world's greatest weatherman himself, Frankie McDonald. He's out there walking around Sydney and he's just about ready to come share with us what all weather. We got Western Canada weather with Brandon Houck. He's the radio man down there in Brooks, Alberta. He's on like 20 stations a week. He's the big deal. We got Imogen Cookie Bailey. She's down there in Victoria, British Columbia. That's the province I'm in too. So also in this province is Hilding Donaldson. He's over by Grassy Plains. And that's just some of our cast. You never know who's going to show up on the show to discuss their local weather. Hey, we want to hear your weather. Okay, but first we want to hear Frankie McDonald's weather. Frankie McDonald.
Frankie!
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great so far. There's a lot of smoke in my hometown of Sydney, Nova Scotia yesterday because the fires came all the way, smoke came all the way from the Northwest Territories fire, drove all the smoke all the way to Greenland, eventually down to Cape Breton Island. It was really bad. And so much smoke because of so much fires burning in the Northwest Territories too.
Yeah, we were just
and
looking at
I heard New York City's getting a lot of rain tonight and tomorrow. And New York City's getting a lot of rain tonight and tomorrow. And it's going to bring so much rain to Manhattan, New York, Staten Island, all these places tonight. And same with some parts of Eastern United States. There's a ghost of tropical storm Ophelia in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and those places. I got my forecast right for Washington, D.C. I was absolutely right on the money for the Washington, D.C. Plus, I did a forecast for Hurricane Lee hitting Nova Scotia and back in September 17th.
You nailed that one, Frankie. You nailed the Hurricane Lee prediction.
Like both Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, both YouTube and TikTok. For my New Brunswick forecast, I got 2 million views on TikTok for that.
2 million views. This one time I made a video that got 200 views, and I was like, yes! And now Frankie, he's got 280 something thousand. How many subscribers now, Frankie?
284,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel as of right now. And guess what? There's a cold weather, warm weather fighting each other in Africa, South Africa. And did you hear about this? There's a lot of storm clouds and low pressure system and disturbances and tropical waves coming off the coast of Nigeria right now. Atlantic hurricane season officially ends on November 30th, 2023.
Yes.
And did you hear about this? I got major news for you. Bass Guy started a radio called Bass Guy Radio Show. And he's Bass Guy is talking about starting a live like music 24-hour, 7 music stream. And did you hear about this? And I got something else to say. And then over in China, they're bringing a lot of thunderstorms of rain right now in the Philippines, Singapore, and Indonesia, and all those places. India's monsoon season's coming to an end this month in October. And India will be back in the dry season again. Congo will be getting a dry in Uganda. Zimbabwe will be getting the rainy season. So is Mozambique and Madagascar in the end of November, December. There'll be rainy season there again. In Indonesia will be in their rainy season. In Australia will be in their summer. New Zealand will be in their summer. It's going to bring really bad fire season in southeastern Australia this year because the El Nino, the warm waters of the Pacific, is going to bring really bad brush fires in Australia.
Okay,
El Nino has got the water so warm in the North Pacific, Frankie. How warm is the North Pacific right now?
Really, really, really warm. That's going to affect Vancouver's atmospheric river and things like this.
who's getting monsoons? Where's monsoon happening? It's monsoon season somewhere.
It's in India for now. Then the monsoon season will be starting in Indonesia and Botswana and Mozambique and those places, Madagascar, sometime in November, December.
What are the chances of Canada getting a monsoon? And if we do, will it be a gorilla monsoon?
Hey, I was going to say gorilla monsoon. You saw my joke.
There's tomorrow night's a full moon. There's a moon up in the sky in my area right now.
Yes, it's the harvest moon, Frankie. Happy harvest moon.
Full moon is tomorrow night in my area.
See, I thought you were implying that you just mooned some people in the parking lot where you are.
Why do they call it the harvest moon, Frankie? Why is it the harvest moon?
Must be a different color and things like this.
Must be a different color, yeah.
Is it
Because
harvest?
the moon changes color at this time of year and then falls. And then you got to rake it up.
Indonesia had a minor earthquake today.
Well,
We got a poll going on right now. Is Frankie going on Base Guy show on Friday?
Yes,
So
I'll
far,
be
one
on Base
vote
Guy
for
show.
yes.
I'll be on Base Guy Show tomorrow night on Friday, September 29th at 10 p.m. Atlantic, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Well,
The choices are yes, or definitely yes, or also definitely yes,
That
but
means
more
that On
emphatically,
Friday night, if you're not busy, you will join Base Guy Show as a chat.
I would love to come on Base Guy show. Base Guy show, I love Base Guy show.
You'll be on
Hi,
Base
Jack.
Guy Show. You'll be watching his show tomorrow night.
I will. Jack's very kind and he's a very good host. And he's a very good musician, and Frankie really loves him. So
Right.
Base Guy show every Friday.
And did you hear about this? A Gary Dino show, Booze almost every Saturday nights.
Is like not only is Gary and Dino's show tougher than us, but they're also funnier and more popular.
Love that show too.
Oh,
And Gary and Dino Frank and Del cardboard cutouts in Canada.
Yeah, how come? How do I get a visit from the Frankie McDonald cardboard cutout?
That means Dino will let you know.
see what he says. Can't go bad. Dino's awesome.
And Gary and Dino show third. It's like a third militia will be at the Wells, British Columbia. And I got something else to say. And did you hear about this? It's springtime in New Zealand. This October and November, Australia will be getting a lot of hailstorms in Sydney, Australia. In southeastern Australia, we're getting so much hailstorms because it's their spring and severe weather season.
Severe storms are always good.
Oh yeah, especially those storms. Oh yeah.
You know, if you can jam a few lightning bolts in there, whip them around like javelins, electric javelins, then you've got something good going on.
Oh, I agree.
Southeastern Australia will be in the severe weather season late September, October, November, and in parts of December before their summer. They'll be getting a lot of brush fires due to El Nino. And this December, January, February, March, it's going to bring a lot of brush fires in Australia. I'm doing great so far. It's Frank now. Things are going great. Fred the Bear is doing great lately. Things are going really well so far. Fred the Bear is doing great in these days. He's doing really, really well so far. Here's a special guest, Fred the Bear. Hi, Frankie. How you doing?
There he is.
I'm doing great so far, Fred. I'm doing great as well. How was your day, Frankie? I'm having a great day as well. Things are going great on my side. Fred the Bear must be doing great in these days. I'm doing great. I'm ready for the fall of the year. That's Fred the Bear. That's me, Fred the Bear, in September 2023. Hey, Fred, what are you doing in these days? I'm doing great. I'm all ready for fall of the year. What are you doing, Fred? I'm doing really great so far. What's your plans in the fall? I'm doing really well so far. Things are going great. See you soon. Bye for now. That's Fred the Bear. He's doing great in these days. He's doing really well. And Fred the Bear is doing great for all these years and things like this. Thanks for watching. I'm Frank McDonald.
Fred the Bear. How is Fred the Bear doing, Frankie?
He's doing great so far. He's going to be on cable access TV in Victoria.
Yeah, he will be. Do you ever bring Fred the Bear out? Like when you go to the bar, go dancing with the girls, and bring Fred out. Be like, hey,
Fred the Bear.
right. Have you been dancing with all the girls lately, Frankie?
Quite a few of them. I got something else to say. It's going to bring Fred the Bears at home. And he appears on the Gary and Dino show.
Is it like not only is Gary and Dino's show tougher than us, but they're also funnier and more popular.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I love that. I love when Fred the Bear is on. So next, can sometime bring Fred the Bear back on the show if you could, Frankie. We'd love to see Fred the Bear again. What other videos have you been making lately, Frankie?
I did a weather forecast for Maryland and things like this.
I saw your one where you were like really, really shouting.
That's all of them.
But this time he was really shouting because there was Hurricane Lee was going to hit Nova Scotia.
Yes.
Screaming and shouting, right, Frankie?
Yeah. It got over 1 million views on TikTok.
Oh dear.
Well, that's what happens. Sometimes you got to scream loud enough to get people to actually listen, right?
What?
I think like that's probably what I need to do to be a better weatherman. Is just scream more.
Spider, man. No one is immune to that. You can be as nervous as steel as you want, just nothing but ice in your veins, but a big enough spider goes walking across your leg, you will scream like a puppy. It's a delightful thing. No one looks cool in that moment.
I don't think I've ever screamed at a spider.
Yeah, really.
I don't believe either, y'all. It's just what it is.
Spiders.
I make the spider my friend. I'm like, hey, buddy. And
Yeah, I love spiders.
I take it out for a walk, you know? That's what I do.
They're an incredibly sophisticated creature.
Oh, yeah.
They are.
I've always wanted to be
However,
Spider-Man, you know?
When there's one unexpectedly touching you, no. Everyone will kind of go,
I make the spider my friend. I'm like, hey, buddy.
And that means atmospheric rift will be heading for British Columbia soon. And the Vancouver's going to get a lot of rain every day.
Well, we already did kind of have a low-level atmospheric river this past weekend, Frankie, on Monday and Sunday night. And it was a pretty strong storm out there in the Pacific. It was probably, I didn't see what the final number was, but it was posed to go down to 950-something millibars, that central low pressure. So it was a strong storm. It was a strong Pacific storm that was hell-bent on sending a lot of rain into the coast there. And it didn't really make much into the rest of the province, just a little bit spilled over here and there, a little bit of moisture.
It got us here.
Did it get you?
Yeah. Tonight we had steady rain all night, and then on Monday night we had some real heavy thunderstorm area around Endako.
Wow. Yeah, no, we didn't have just a little bit of rain here and there. Nothing too bad. And I've already gone out and started falling trees for firewood and started splitting wood but yeah, today I was going to go down to Kenny's funeral. As you know, those guys were from the company I've worked for lots over the years that had the accident last week here on the highway, 4 firefighters. So I wanted to go down for Kenny's funeral, but then I also had a chance to get my kids and be at home, and then also do this, finally get on the board, getting episodes of the show out, going on and talking to you all. And I just sort of felt physically and emotionally already tapped. So driving 3 hours plus from Williams Lake down to was in Williams Lake this morning just didn't seem like what I had energy for. But then my daughter and I, we went to the big orange shirt celebration that was going on. 10 years since Orange Shirts Day started. And that was at the Stampede Ground in William Lakes. And there was hundreds of kids and drumming and things like that. And lots of people wearing orange shirts. And Phyllis, who was the woman who first started the orange shirt campaign, was there wearing her orange shirt, of course. And she told the story of why she kind of, the orange shirt had symbolism to her. And that's because when she was a little kid, she was told that she could buy any kind of shirt she wanted for school. So she bought a nice orange shirt. But when she got to the mission, everybody had to wear the uniform, and the orange shirt was taken away. So that's sort of the significance, the symbolism of the orange shirt. Maybe that's something that already it's become kind of a cultural norm. People wear the orange shirt, don't necessarily know what the symbolism of the orange is. So not going down to Kenny's burial, but at least going to another ceremony that was somewhat relevant and important. And after all that, wow, what a fire season I had. I mean, honestly, a lot happened this year between something like almost 75 days on the fire line. That doesn't include travel days and standby days. 75 days facing fire, working fire, which I love doing. So no complaints there. The more, the better. Hey, there was a few downtimes where I was like hurting to get back out there because it had already been a week, So definitely had a really good season going from the Alberta side of the border to start, then up to Donnie Creek Fire back in May, and got completely soaked and rained on up there at the Charlie Lake camp. The next month went up north, up to the Almanica there basically, and fought a small fire there did a whole tour. July out to Finger Lakes, Taddock Lakes, really insane fire. Definitely that was an adventure and full of thrill. There was so many new fires starting from thunderstorms every day, and it was just really go, and there was properties on the line and things were tense, but we worked hard and we got through it. And a lot of crazy stories came out of that time. Out to Fraser Lake, fought a fire up on the mountain there, and 2 outside of Nazco. Out to Bella Coola, we were on standby in Kamloops when the blow-ups were happening in Kelowna, and out to Scotch Creek.
There you got an Omega block developing in eastern Canada and the United States next week. That's going to bring warmer than average temperatures in early October all across eastern Canada and eastern United States at the same time. And Vancouver, British Columbia is also going to be warmer than average temperatures as well.
Yeah, well, we were looking at this earlier pre-show, Frank. This is your GFS modeling for the next week. And you see that Omega block is going to get broken down eventually by a big trough that's going to move through, and that's going to bring storms and showers into towards the Great Lakes area and places like that.
That's going to bring a lot of storms to Idaho and those places. And Minnesota could be stormier than normal.
So that's something that's going on. And so, Frankie, what else in the world? What have we covered yet? You got anything else going on planet Earth? I know we got chance of Northern Lights tomorrow night.
It's going to bring stormier than average weather next week all across Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Central Texas. It's going to bring snow in Ontario-Manitoba border. It's going to bring some snow there.
That is kind of what it looks like, the way that trough's model is dipping down, all that cold air is going to spill south.
Cold air is going to spill south all the way to Wisconsin and to those places. Going to dip the cold air all the way down to Arkansas.
What about Alberta, Frankie? What do you think is going to be happening in Alberta this next week?
Alberta's going to turn warmer than average temperatures in Alberta. It's going to bring drier than average temperatures in British Columbia again. There could be chance of fires in British Columbia once again.
There is an outside chance of that. And as we saw, there are still quite a few fires actually still burning, right? So that hasn't stopped. Now, will fires really go far? No, not really. But they are still burning. They are still active. And looks like Northern Alberta too, Brandon Houck? What are you thinking? What are you thinking for your weather there, Brandon Houck, weatherman in Brooks, Alberta?
The Brandon Houck Report.
Oh, hi. This is the Brandon Houck Report.
So, so the weather has been, it's been pretty quiet. We have not had a frost yet this year in southern parts of the province, but other areas have had their first frost of the season there. So, yeah, and we've had a few showers, a few thunder showers today in Alberta. Manitoba had a big rock and roll show earlier today. I think Brand, Manitoba had a pretty good storm, severe thunderstorms earlier today at 9 o'clock in the morning. So that's the way to get out of bed, that's for sure. So that was the story in the eastern prairies, I should say. Now, last couple of days we've had some model trouble here. I guess wouldn't say trouble, but typically when you're looking ahead into a longer term forecast, you're gonna, because I know like other weather apps, they post a 14-day outlook or anything like that. And that 14-day outlook a couple of days ago was going with 45 centimeters of snow to fall in Calgary next week. Now, everybody saw that. Oh, yeah. And it went all over the internet. Oh, absolutely. However, that model has changed over the last few days, and now we're looking at temperatures teens and 20s by the end of next week and a drier spell instead of 45 centimeters of snow. So that is why I always forecast for 5 days. I don't like forecasting past 5 days in Alberta because models can change dramatically, and they sure did the last couple of days. And now we're not looking at any wild winter events as it was
45 centimeters of snow to plus 20. That's yeah. You know, when you're looking 10 days out on the long ranger, you know, I got to take that with a grain of salt.
Oh, yes. Always. And then I see like Instagram stories. Everybody's like, everybody's messaging me. Oh my God, is it going to snow next week? Oh my God. I'm like, oh, calm down. It's not going to snow next week. It might snow in a few areas, maybe like higher, like it's going to snow tonight in higher elevations of the Rocky Mountains.
No, there's fresh snow on the hills here in Wells, on the mountaintops. This afternoon. We should mention, I never have yet, that it's the 28th of September that we're recording this, Thursday night, 28th of September.
So yeah, typically, especially the mountains, if you're going to be going in the Icefields Parkway tonight, you could encounter accumulating snow, or the Okanagan Connector and the Kootenay Pass, because there is a special weather statement now. It's not showing up on Environment Canada's website, but I double-checked, I triple-checked, I looked at all my sources, and we still have a special weather statement for 2 centimeters of snow to fall tonight on the passes. So have fun and shift into winter, whatever they say. Oh, yes, shift into winter is happening now in BC.
Yeah, but
before you go.
People are driving around their summer tires, right? And woohoo, we're traveling around. And 2 centimeters of snow doesn't sound like much, but the thing is, it's not. But what it is just enough to lubricate, and especially it's probably not going to be, like good snow. It's just going to be a little bit wet and slippery, and
makes things slippy, as I like to say, slippy.
And there's been a lot of traffic accidents, like besides 4 bros getting killed last week. A lot of my summer has been taken up by traffic accidents. They're the one that we responded to. The guy got his arm torn off. Our crew saved his life. My friend Kovacs was killed on a quad. My former crew person, Nina, was killed driving a quad 2 days ago. There's a kid in Kamloops, his motorbike smacked into a truck. He was going like ridiculously fast on a crotch rocket. And I went to do first aid, and I realized quickly there was no first aid to be done. It was one of those. So it's like, slow down, everybody, and really be careful out there, because that 2 centimeters of snow can end your life.
And over here we got smoke. 0.6 in American.
Yeah, 0.6 miles in American. Alright, copy. Thanks, Clay. And Iverson, Tasman's Buckeye, could you give me the call sign for our weather person on site?
I am 198.
198, what you seeing?
So we have a cell that's east of us now that's producing a little bit of lightning, but it's getting its energy drawn out of it to these guys to the south. We still have some time, but that could close in pretty quick in the next hour.
Okay, thanks for the update.
CFUR 88.7 FM, Prince George, CKUW 95.9 FM, and CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops. Is on Shot Spotlight TV, Victoria, British Columbia, Duncan, British Columbia, and the surrounding areas.
Thank you. I'm at a practice at the top of the hour. I didn't call that all out, but now you heard it from the man, Frankie himself. And he's got a better memorized than I do after this summer. Any other weather stories, Brandon?
Any other wild weather stories? Actually, yeah, nothing too much on the weather story side of things, but I will switch gears here quickly here and talk about the story from a couple of weeks ago. As I know you have you've spent a lot of time in outhouses. Am I correct? Yeah.
Hasn't, man. We've all been to a few more outhouses than we want to admit.
So,
Dude, I slept at wildfire camps this summer where that was what you had was an outhouse.
outhouse, yes. So in Michigan, woman, she had her Apple Watch on her wrist, and she went into one of those outhouses, and she dropped it into the bowl below. And well, typically, if you drop your Apple Watch in the bowl, you probably should just walk away and try to get a new one. No, she decided to climb right inside of there and try to receive her Apple Watch, and she got stuck. And people had to come and rescue her.
Good for her for having a goal.
The Apple Watch didn't work again, but I bet the ride home was probably not a fun ride home after that.
We had a similar incident at the music festival, but the lady was wise enough to get somebody who had a bucket and a rope to drop into the hole, and they used a long stick to knock the iPhone back into the bucket and hoisted it out. And it hadn't gotten submerged, so it actually worked.
So it was literally floating along the lake on a giant turd.
Yeah, it was floating in the hole on a turd. Yeah.
Excellent. Wash your food, people.
Certainly, I lost a pair of sunglasses down there once.
You went in after him, didn't you?
Nope.
You were smart enough to just say goodbye. Don't look down the hole and wave and go bye.
I actually even defecated on them.
For you.
Wow.
In other news, an emotional support alligator was denied entry into a Philadelphia Phillies game against Pittsburgh on Wednesday. Much to the surprise of the onlookers, Wally, considered an emotional support animal, has tens of thousands of followers on social media, where he's often been seen being hugged or kissed. But he was not allowed into the Phillies game. Is the emotional support alligator?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I bet it'd be going for one of those big hot dogs, like the 10-foot long hot dogs, right?
What do you got down there in Victoria, Imogen?
Not a whole lot. Standard weather here. Damp. It's the damp time of year. It's our second season or second weather pattern. Highs of 16, lows of 7. That's about all we can expect for the next week. Maybe a little fog, a little dampness, a little drizzle. It really is like living in a sink sponge. It's either tedious blue skies that are uneventful with boring middle lowish temperature, doesn't get too hot, or it doesn't get too cold, dampness for winter.
Now, did you have any of that wind last weekend?
Not really, no. No, everyone else got wind. Everyone else had interesting things happening. We had mild. It's another day of mild.
How boring down there.
I know. You know what? It's boring weather, which means that we can move freely and do anything and not be hindered by it. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's just so boring.
The people
you should have gone to
even though they can.
You should have gone to like Solander Island there, where they had a wind gust of 152 kilometers an hour.
See, that would have been super cool to see.
That's pretty good wind gust.
Wasn't much.
Now there was in Greece, Imogen. In Greece, there was a storm, Hurricane Daniel. It hit Greece and it flooded Greece really bad. And because of that, herds of sheep had nothing to eat. So it was a report of a sheep eating 100 kilograms of cannabis.
Oh, nice. Those would have been very drowsy, slow-moving sheep.
It was in a greenhouse. Even they invaded a greenhouse.
Are you sure it wasn't just a bunch of hippies?
No, the crop had already been damaged by the heat wave and Storm Daniel, but then the sheep came in there and they finished what was left. So they've been grazing in the flooded plains of Thessaly in central Greece. And they went to the town of Alamiros to eat about 100 kilograms of the cannabis. And he says that you don't know if it's for laughing or for crying. We had the heat wave and we lost a lot of production, he said. We had the floods, we lost almost everything. And now this, they entered the greenhouse and ate what was left. I really don't know what to say, honestly. Yeah, well, Storm Daniel killed over 100,000 animals and livestock, but not these sheep. No, they're doing okay.
No, those sheep are resilient, man. Just like hippies, they're kind of resilient. You can throw all sorts of horrible things at them and they'll just kind of lie down, eat some weed, and then mosey on like nothing happened.
This Hurricane Daniel, I mean, people, they say it's like the worst storm to ever hit Greece. I mean, like Greece has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Then after December 17th, remnants of Hurricane Lee hit England.
Yeah, I think we just entered optimal conditions. Just keep a good bead on the wind and weather guy off the Iverson crew.
It's burning a little bit. But this developing storms are sucking it towards it. So this is really ideal for now.
And I got another major news for you. On September 26th, professional photographer John Ratchford took professional photos of me at Open Air Park. It's coming in a couple of weeks. Professional photographer John Ratchford took professional photos of me at Open Air Park and went great. And John Ratchford's really busy. The photo is going to be released in a couple of weeks. He told me that it's going to be on the day after Thanksgiving, approximately. According to John Ratchford, he took professional photos of me 2 days ago. It's a photos of me and my whole body and close up my face and things like this. You have to wait and see when professional photographer John Ratchford releases the photos to me.
Were they sexy beach photos? It's a little...
Me wearing a sweatshirt. No jacket, just sweatshirt and the pants, that's all.
So not a bathing suit? Are you going to send it to us? Are you going to send us the link?
I'm going to send the pictures to Joey. Only shows email address. Now I'm going to post it on social media, things like this.
All right.
Will there be pictures of your whole body, Frankie?
From head to feet.
Pictures of your feet? Why was he taking pictures of your feet?
From my head to my sneakers.
Oh, and your sneakers.
Okay.
You got some really snazzy sneakers?
Oh my God,
yes. New Balance.
Just gonna tilt my head down, keep it off my face, and I'll watch the video later. Woo! Awesome.
Task Force McCandless Division, Nickel. Hey, go ahead, Division.
God,
Mike 100, copy, go for
love
it.
being a weatherman. Unfortunately, what I'm saying is this is coming. We're not going to miss
Copy
it.
that.
But I don't see the intensity yet that's got me concerned for today, so that's nice. The most intense thing going on right now is that column.
You guys will kind of free those catches right behind him, and I'll get you. So I think you guys tighter than you're just bouncing the range. All right, thanks.
Boom, thundering.
Hey, Baca Division. Go ahead. Yeah, you probably just caught that. Yeah, I'm up here at 20. Did see a downstroke out there to the south, southeast. Looks like. Yep. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll be mobile. Yeah, Division 437. You got the camera. You go ahead. Yeah, same thing. Starting to see it. Kind of working in a little bit closer to right. So yeah, starting to work your way back.
Hard to film when your hand's burning.
Total solar eclipse is heading for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8, 2024.
Get this, Frankie. 3 crocodiles saved this dog who was seeking refuge in a river. It was the Savitri River in India's Maharashtra. And so these feral dogs were chasing this dog, and they chased it into the dog went into the water because it had nowhere else to go. And the dog, I guess, was starting to drown, but the crocodiles pushed him to shore and helped him out using the safety of they used their snouts to push him. They guided him to an area of the riverbank that wasn't occupied by the feral pack, allowing the dog to escape. So it's a curious incident. It was uncharacteristic of crocodiles. So we're emotional support alligators and crocodiles that save dogs. And I bet you if they saw that pack of angry feral dogs that chased that dog into the river, then they would go after that. Just to, I don't know, the crocodiles. What's with the crocodiles all of a sudden being so nice to everybody?
I know.
Reptiles are awesome, and they're way more complex than people give them credit for. Like, reptiles do have affection. They do have social structures that are a lot more complicated than most of us realize. And like, having lived with reptiles most of my life, I've seen these acts of affection and kindness that most people just don't believe. Like, but having, heard that an alligator or a crocodile did that, like rescued a dog, that really comes as no surprise. Because I've seen
alligators capable of kindness.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you talking about?
They're awesome animals. Reptiles are so cool. Like, yeah, get to know reptile behavior just in a general sense. They do a lot of wild stuff. Like, there are lizards who actually play pranks. I mean, like, lizard level, fairly simple stuff, but it like on the level of like tapping someone on the shoulder but being on the other side just to make like made you look kind of stuff. Reptiles actually prank each other. It's cool.
Okay, well, this is more like what I expect. There's a 2-year-old girl in Michigan. She went missing up in the northern upper peninsula. She went missing, and it sparked a major hunt. And they found her. And she had 2 dogs, 2 family dogs, and one she was using as a pillow, and the other one was warming her and keeping her safe. They found the little girl being rescued by the 2 dogs. Helped her. Now that's what I would expect that.
Yep. Well, sure, you expect that of mammals. But not all mammals are all that friendly and cuddly. Just like not all reptiles are, cold-blooded, predatory, heartless, vicious, whatever.
Well, a man who took his pet snake surfing was fined. Yeah, as a python.
Why was he
fined? Fined more than 2,000 Australian dollars for taking the reptile out in public.
I got another. Speaking of dogs, did you know 100 people who identified as dogs gathered in Berlin, Germany? And it got awkward when 100 more people also identified as fire hydrants.
And another guy, Andy Dowie, he lives in Sydney, Australia as well. He got to deal with those deadly bugs there. The musician Andy Dowie, he lives in Sydney, Australia too, in Plymouth neighborhood.
Major total eclipse party on April 8th at Frankie's house.
Not
Michael
true.
P. Mahone is not invited at all.
No, not true, not true.
You'll be not invited?
You'll be at the holiday in Sydney, Nova Scotia, Monday, April 8th, 2024.
I'm just saying what the guy on YouTube said right here on the chat.
It's that guy, fake Michael P. Mahone, not a real one.
John Paul George. He says Michael P. Mahone is not invited at all.
It's fake one.
Are you sure? It's not the fake Michael P. Mahone, or it's the real Michael P. Mahone? Is it actually pronounced Mahone?
Maybe it's Mahon.
Is he related to Patrick Mahomes out of the Kansas City Chiefs?
Or is it
John Paul George is lying.
What?
That means you'll be staying at Holiday Inn, Joey.
Not at your place?
You'll be staying at Holiday Inn.
I already called dibs on your couch. I want to be your couch guy.
You'll be at the Holiday Inn.
Okay, but I'm going to take like an afternoon off from the Holiday Inn to be on your couch. I'm going to get my butt prints on your couch. I'll wear pants. I mean, I'm rarely wearing pants. I'm not wearing pants right now. But in honor of your couch, I may wear pants. Just out of respect for your house rules, which I assume dictate
Wait
that.
a minute, you'll be at the Holiday Inn, Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Unless we're all at your house.
No, you'll be at the Holiday Inn.
Okay, except for the hour and the one day or the weekend that we're at your house.
You'll be staying at Holiday Inn in Sydney, Nova Scotia. I repeat, you'll be staying at Holiday Inn, Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Me too?
Holiday Inn. It's a hotel.
Okay, but what if it's full? Because I'm pretty sure that it's already full because you've told so many people to go there that I'm pretty sure it's already full.
That guy's flying. I repeat, that guy's flying.
That guy.
Does the Holiday Inn have a water slide?
Has the water slide.
All right.
Okay. Okay, well,
We know we're not staying at your house, but he says that that's where the party is. Major
Holiday
total
Inn.
eclipse party.
At the Holiday Inn, Sydney, Nova Scotia, at the hotel. I repeat, at the hotel.
I repeat. So Frankie, this guy Demarcus Bullard, he threw a rock at a gator in Florida to see if it was really a gator, and it pulled the body like it was holding onto the lower part of the torso. It pulled it under the water. So the 13.85-inch male alligator was humanely killed, it said, by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation. How do you humanely kill something? I mean, it's not even a human. Like,
You did
it was alligatorly killed.
It's John Paul George, guys. He started rumors about the eclipse party.
Yeah, we'll set him straight. It'll just be him alone, I guess, at your house, and we'll all be somewhere
No,
else.
not true either. I told him that, not true.
Okay. So
really
definitely
do not want anyone at his house. I repeat, do not go to Frankie's house. Because
no
Yeah,
going to
it's
Frankie's
Holiday
house
Inn.
whatsoever.
You have to stay at
I
the
will already
Holiday
be
Inn
there.
Sydney.
I'll chase y'all off his lawn.
Are we allowed to leave the Holiday Inn?
Yes, they can leave the Holiday Inn and come back in. Just like Monica did when she worked for Bell door to door at the Hampton Inn in Sydney.
The Hampton Inn, is that better than the Holiday Inn? Or is it cheaper?
not a
I don't know if
hotel
I can
difference.
afford the Holiday Inn on my salary, which is nothing.
That means you'll be at the Holiday Inn imaging all the guys that are coming and we say in the Holiday Inn.
So they humanely killed an alligator. This is more like what I'm expecting. I'm used to hearing about alligators, So a 41-year-old Sabrina Peckham was eaten by an alligator. And it says the manner and cause of death is pending in the investigation. They found her in an alligator's mouth. Why is the cause of death under investigation?
Well, maybe she was fed to the alligator. See,
Fed to the alligator. Alligators eat people.
Florida man may have had a hand in it. Now, in about 2 weeks, I'm going to Miami for a few days, and I am hoping, I hope for a Florida man encounter. This is the superhero.
Ew, gross.
I want to see Florida man in action. I want to see something right out of a Florida headline.
Oh.
Crazy news. I want to see Florida man do something insane.
So what if the person's from Georgia and they do a Florida man stunt? Does that count?
If they're in Florida, they qualify as Florida man. If I do something insane, well, I've got a little mustache doodled on my face, I'm going to call myself Florida man. I may have to doodle a mustache on my face and just go cartwheeling off the top of a building while on fire or something completely nutty just to create the experience if I don't have it.
You are completely within your rights to identify as Florida man if you so wish.
It doesn't work here, though.
Except the thing is, you're not from Florida, so I don't know. You can identify as BC man in Florida.
Well, I think that if I state,
you're not technically a Florida man.
No, but at the same time, what will the headline read as? If I've got a little mustache doodled on my face, maybe a little soul patch drawn on with bad Sharpie, I'll just have to pour some beer on myself so I smell like I've been drinking because I don't drink enough to do anything dumb.
Weirdo with bad Sharpied mustache found in alligator's mouth.
Florida
Police have
man.
identified the deceased person as Imogen Cookie Bailey. The matter and cause of death is pending investigation.
Awesome.
In February, an alligator killed an 85-year-old woman in Fort Pierce. She was trying to save her dog.
I just found out Nelson Peabody's going to be on your podcast and writing comments in 15 minutes.
What?
Nelson Peabody's going to be on your live chat in 15 minutes.
In 15.
Okay, yeah. Tell him to get him to come on. Yeah, tell him to chat there, and we'll see what he's got to get him to explain himself. So so the 85-year-old woman, she tried to save her dog, but she was eaten by an alligator. So maybe she should have just let the dog go, but she couldn't. She had to go and feed herself to an alligator. So this is the kind of thing I'm used to hearing. Not alligators. The alligators didn't try to save her dog. She had to go in there and get eaten to save her dog. I hope the dog was saved. I don't know. It doesn't even qualify in this article if the dog survived or not, or if they were both killed. Potentially, it could have been both. 2 weeks later, a man survived a bite after opening his front door to a gator. Next time an alligator knocks on your door, do not open it.
Or open it wide.
And then open it, say, in a wild crocodile.
Throw a can of
Something like
spam at them and run. Throw it like a grenade. Just like get your spam key out, whip it through real fast, throw it like a damn grenade, and run like hell the other way.
It is extremely rare for alligators to attack humans when unprovoked. So,
Don't try and fight them.
Yeah, usually people are like, hey, you're a stupid alligator. And, alligator's like,
To be
I'm gonna
fair,
just eat your stupid face.
I would fight an alligator to save a dog. If I thought a dog was in danger, I would do that. I would go bare knuckle right in there and I would do what I can and I would absolutely give her. I would lose some pieces. I'm not expecting to win against a giant dinosaur, but
I wouldn't.
The effort and I would go down fighting and I would take pieces of it with me to get that dog out there.
I'd be like, ooh, yeah, sorry, dog. Thanks for
Dogs, man.
giving your life so that I can continue. Hilding Donaldson, we haven't heard much from you yet. How is life in Grassy Plains, British Columbia?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Between here and Houston, about an hour's drive west of where I live, there was a family that got caught in the Owen Forest Service fire. And they were evacuated, and then the fire died down, and they were sent home. And the day after they were sent home, a wind came up, and the fire burned everything they had. Man and his daughter were out in a four-wheeler trying to herd cattle, and they got caught in the fire and had to drive through fire to get out. Just about got burned. Yeah. So that just shows us that the fire isn't all just way out there in the sticks. There is some that is actually burning up people's possessions and things. I think you might have had some stories like that around in the Kamloops fire.
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly nothing like the cascade of red wine that flooded a street in Portugal after some tanks erupted. The whole street was just red wine was pouring down the street. And also Hurricane Idalia flung flamingos across the eastern United States.
I already did the forecast for Florida for Hurricane Idalia, and I got it done as well.
There was a rare spotless giraffe born in a Tennessee zoo, Frankie. Spotless giraffe. What's next? My God, the horror.
I heard
Right,
another tropical storm Rena staying out to sea.
How would you explain that to your kids? You take them to the zoo to see a giraffe, but instead you see this monster with no spots.
On October 29th last year, I went to Dooley's for the Halloween party. The power went out because that building caught on fire.
The building caught on fire while you were in it?
Why'd you start a fire, Frankie?
It's a building down the street.
Why? What happened, Frankie? Was everybody okay?
And that means that its lawyer's office is on fire.
Oh, that's good news. And you didn't start the fire whatsoever, did you,
I
Frankie?
did not start the fire.
Frankie did not start any fires whatsoever.
The power was out at the Capri Club, the power was out at the Old Triangle, and things like this, because they knocked out power down Charlotte Street in Sydney and parts of it around George Street because lawyer's office caught on fire. That's why the power went out. Dooley's had an attempted Halloween party because the lawyer's office caught on fire.
It's like, oh, the power's out. Hey, a lawyer's office is on fire. Yay! I know no lawyers watch this show.
I don't know how many literate people watch this show.
Do not mock my audience.
Okay, fair enough. I think that the one guy who's watching us can, in fact, read the title, which is a tricky one. The spelling of it is difficult. Just saying, I trip on it every time I write it down.
Oh, yeah.
Florida man incident for real east of Vanderhoof. Shelly Selinsky says there was a Florida man incident in Vanderhoof.
Get away from the heat and
That
humidity.
means that it must have been a former lawyer's office caught on fire. Back on October 29, 2022, that's how Dooley's lost power, because the former lawyer's office caught on fire. It's an old building.
I didn't know that age was a reason to catch fire. If that's the case, I'm looking forward to turning 103. I don't know why 103, but maybe that's just the age at which I'm going to catch fire.
I'm going to try to aim for 120, maybe. Yeah.
See,
I
that's
think by
a
the
good
time you're
goal.
112, you're pretty hot. So, Shelly Selinsky, if you are still out there, please elaborate on the Florida man incident east of Vanderhoof. It sounds like a man was eaten by an alligator east of Vanderhoof this summer, and we're quite concerned.
Alligators would love it in Vanderhoof, BC.
Is it swampy?
Yeah, not in the winter time. They probably wouldn't.
Probably not.
But,
It'll be a little
Extra
cold.
swampy.
Coming up for a summer stay and then fly back to Florida after.
wow, we got still a little bit of time left. A little bit of time left here in the show. 15,000 chicks were reported missing from Ontario Chicken Farm. So the guy had 30,000 chicks go missing in April, has now lost another 15,000 chicks. Where was the last place you remember putting them?
Does he think somebody stole them, or they got loose and flew away, or what?
He didn't lock his basement. Chicks will run if you give them a chance.
Subway, one employee was killed and another was injured after a customer opened fire in an Atlanta Subway restaurant because there was too much mayonnaise.
Okay,
I like mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is gross.
No way.
Mayonnaise is awful. It's not an ideal condiment. It's an ingredient, and I don't know why you would want to just douse your sandwich in tons of oil. So a
Mayonnaise is awesome, and I would never shoot anybody over mayonnaise.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good idea to open fire over a condiment unless you're hunting and you saw a good mayonnaise out in the field and you got a clear shot. But that's different. That's hunting. That's when you're trying to get your own mayonnaise. But if it's just like in a sandwich shop, it's a bad condiment. It doesn't really need to be there. It doesn't really do much. It just mutes the flavor. So that was a poor choice of actions, but still, no. Get your own mayonnaise in the wild like nature intended.
From one of those mayonnaise trees?
Mayonnaise tree.
Since when do you hunt anything from a tree? No, roaming the plains the way that wild mayonnaise does.
Sometimes you hunt stuff out of the tree. You climb the tree, you go up to the top, you go in like a tree stand, and then you hunt from the tree stand looking down.
Okay, that's fair. Or if if you see a flock of mayo flying around like ducks or something, then line it up, take your time, breathe, take your shot. It's not the same in a sandwich shop. It's just not right.
It's just all foul weather. Yeah.
A Mexican mom shielded her son from a bear who leapt on the picnic table to devour tacos and enchiladas in Mexico City this week.
The annual series of competitions that I do typically focus on fitness competitions. This year, this winter,
I got a message from Nelson Peabody. Nelson Peabody said hello to all you guys. He will be on the chat board on your next show next Thursday. I'm not stealing Wi-Fi at all.
It's good. Thanks for the reminder.
That's free Wi-Fi. It's not stealing. Okay, so we got some new news about the Florida man incident east of Vanderhoof. Guy shows up at our camp, shows his driver's license. Don't know why, says Shelly. Offers us smokes. Says he'll keep it in his fridge. Smokes a doobie, gets all paranoid, and takes off. Also says he hadn't had a drink. Since leaving Florida, last name was Christmas. Not kidding. His name was Christmas. And he got paranoid and took off.
So, speaking of feeding the ducks, an elderly Florida man was attacked, bitten by a rabid otter 41 times.
A rabid otter?
Yeah, rabid otter.
Was it foaming at the mouth?
Pretty much. 41 times. It bit him in a row.
Otters could probably be pretty vicious. They're like basically a giant weasel.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't want to be attacked by otters. A baby girl was born with 26 fingers in India. She's being hailed as a Hindu goddess.
I think, Imogen has something to talk about her. You're doing the haunted thing, right?
Yep. I'm glad someone noticed.
I know.
In the annual series of competitions that I do, they're typically focused on fitness competitions. Well, right now I'm doing the Face of Horror contest, I should say. And it's another daily voting one. It is a charity fundraiser that supports the Andrew McDonough B Plus Foundation, which is, it supports families that are dealing with pediatric cancer. So in this one tonight, the voting closes for the top 10. Right now I'm in 4th position. As of when I looked just a minute ago, I'm in 4th place. So tonight voting closes for top 10, and then next week it starts all over again with a whole new set of votes. Information about that or the link or whatever is all on my website, which is www.imogen.in. That's IMOGEN.in. And the prize is super cool because it means I get to do a photo shoot with Kane Hodder, because that guy's awesome. One of the coolest Jason Voorhees ever. I love that dude. Of all the horror guys, of all the horror actors and stunt dudes ever, he is by far the coolest. So yeah, I just want to do a photo shoot with Kane Hodder, but that's the Face of Horror contest. So yay, that's what I'm doing right now.
So something funny, I was trying to register to vote for you there online, and it told me to add a picture. Okay, I'll add a picture. So all of a sudden, hey, you're into this. You're going to get voted for on this contest. And it was a bad picture of me standing in front of a car. And apparently I came in 77th place. So not bad for the terrible picture I put in.
77. Not bad. Good job.
To clarify, to vote, you don't have to add a vote.
So a man in trail, he saw a guy wearing camouflage pants and he called the cops. He told the officer he would remove the man's pants himself under order of the King of England. The 27-year-old man was outraged. He said he was offended on behalf of the military. He believes civilians are not allowed to wear those kinds of pants.
What?
Yes, this is an actual human being that lives in British Columbia. They informed the man that removal of someone's pants would be illegal even if they were camouflaged. The caller told the officer he would remove the man's pants under order of the King of England. The officer replied that forcefully removing a man's pants would constitute assault. Officers did look for the man reportedly wearing the camouflage pants, but unsurprisingly couldn't find him, said Sergeant Mike Wasentowicz in a release. My goodness, people.
Camo ever?
Ugh. Human beings. Frankie, how can the human beings find you in the world of the internet?
Introducing my new social media. Blue Sky is @FrankieMacD. My Twitter is @FrankieMacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok's FrankDonald984. My Clapper's FrankDonald984. My Twitch is FrankDonald984. My Snapchat is FrankieMBCD1. My YouTube channel, Saga Films, and my link is Frankie McDonald. Best of luck to you. I'm Frank Donald. You're listening to Comedeorology Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. Introducing a new social media, Blue Sky. My Blue Sky is @FrankieMacD.
Yes. And this is the Comedeorological Report. You can, if you're hearing us on the radio, you can always find episodes on Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude, plus my forecasts and fire weather videos and things like that from the past. So stop by, check it out. Every Thursday night we broadcast live here, and then we disseminate the show to the following radio stations. Thank you, CFR 88.7. Thank you, CKUW 95.9. for putting up with us over the years, because I'm sometimes periodically just unavailable, fighting fires, unable to make a show for you. And very nice of you just to look the other way and accept episodes when you can. And also Shaw Spotlight and CFBX. Thank you for in the last year, you've got us on board. So thank you. Hopefully we can get back into some regular programming here. Forgive me for being gone all summer, but I was doing the Lord's work, fighting fire out there in British Columbia, and it was quite a summer indeed. I saw lots of crazy stuff, man. Saw lots of crazy stuff, and it was a lot of fun. Brendan Houck out there in Brooks, Alberta. Imogen Cookie Bailey down there in Victoria. Hilding Donaldson, Grassy Plains. I'm Joey Only here in Wells, British Columbia. Frankie McDonald out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia. We'll see you next week, I hope, because I I'm pretty sure I'm done. Pretty sure I'm gonna be just home. Just home for a while. Good to see you all.